give them a few more moments, okay? And then what we're going to do, if we don't have everybody that was supposed to be on here, then I'm going to move this session till Tuesday. And what I'm going to do is open this for a 30-minute Q&A for what we've been up to for those of you that took the time to be here. They couldn't be here Friday, and I don't want to penalize you guys that did show up, and I don't want to penalize those that didn't and paid for it, but there must be some good reason. So, we only got about half on here that should be here. So as of right now, let's first make sure that you can hear me. Can somebody type in there that you're hearing me okay? Okay, great. Thanks, guys. I appreciate it. So what we're going to do right now is just start with some Q&As in general from everything that we've had up to date while we're waiting to see if the rest of the remainder of the group show up, okay? And I would do this for you if for some reason you got hung up and couldn't be here and you paid for this. I'm not repeating this session, so they would lose out, you would lose out. So I think it's only fair, since we have several more sessions to go through anyway, we're going to be here anyway Tuesdays and Thursdays, that we'll move this session till Tuesday, and we're going to take the time. Does anybody have a problem with that? Because I want to make sure I keep everybody happy. Is everybody okay with that? Or should I say, is anybody not okay with that? I hope you guys are having a good week. Just type in there if anybody, doesn't like those. What I want to tell you is kind of what our activity's been this week with probates, just to get you guys as excited as we are with the probates. So I've had this probate I've been working on for almost 2 years, $1 million probate. I sold it myself about 3 months ago, and then the attorney publishing right because it had to go to court confirmation. So we had to redo it. But I'm on it with my buyer. I have a second buyer that's interested in it. What I do is talk to both buyers, let them know who's willing to pay the most, and that's the one I go with, so everybody has a point. But I got a chance to double end this on the 30th. We have final offer date, and that's a possibility of a $60,000 payday, and on one deal, guys. And for you investors that are on here tonight, that investor that's buying this is going to put about 200 into the property, so you'll be into it for about 1.2, depending on what the final bid is, with a 1516 upside. So there's $300,000 profit on this one property. And when you get up into the big numbers on probates, there's far less competition than there is in the lower end pricing. So it's just a matter of going after the people that have that kind of money. I have one investor that has over $7 million that they earmarked just for me for probates, and they want me to turn that money a couple times, 2 or 3 times a year. You can imagine how busy we are and how excited we are. I almost deal with one client right now, and that makes such a better real estate business. I don't throw buyers in my car or go show buyers, retail buyers, and all this stuff. I'm dealing with one agent. Everything I do for them, I got 6 coming in, 2 going out. It's just so sweet, and you can all be there. And you investors there, that upside of $200,000 or $300,000 happens in probate. Okay, I mean the sweet spots are normally around 50 to 90,000 range, but these come up once in a while, and because you'll be in this business. Okay, all right. Walt, you're asking, would you be doubling up on the sessions? What I'm doing is tonight I was going to cover setting the appointment with the PR, how to do all that and what to do once you get there, talk to them or whatever. And then I was going to go into the session praising the property, which is a little extensive, and how I do it to help you guys out, just look at a different twist, even though a lot of you have your routines. I'm just sharing with you. So those 2 we're going to move till Tuesday night, and then instead of doing 1 session next week, at one of the meets we'll do 2, so we'll catch up on this. We'll still try to get this all done by the end of the month, which we hope to do. Okay, and so anyway, so we got that going on, that one property for $1 million. Last night we double ended a probate that that was going to go to foreclosure. My bird dog talked to these people about the beginning of the year and had a little conversation, but nothing happened. And what happened? The guy called my bird dog first of the week and said, "Hey, look it, we want to do something now. Can you send Gary over or whatever?" So I went over there with my San Jose partner, broker network agent, and we bought this thing for $525,000 plus a 6% commission. So we're making about 31.5 on this, and my investor's paying all cash. And the house next door just went pending for 800,000. Same house. Okay, unbelievable. Now, when you buy trustee sales, pre-trustee sales, you have to have different contracts, and people are in equity, with an equity position. But this guy was going to lose the house in 10 days, trustee sale, and now we just put $100,000 in their pocket that they're going to get, even though they're leaving probably $100,000 on the table that my investor will make after he rehabs it and all this. Those are the type of deals that come up in this. Okay, that was this week. Then I just came home tonight from a probate I've been working on, another probate, first mortgage, and we had a couple offers on it, and my investor's getting it for $550. It's got about a $750 upside when it's all fixed. I'm getting paid, because I'm the agent on the deal, 6% of the $550, which is a little over $30,000, and I'll get another 2% when it's fixed up, so another 15 grand when I put it up in the market. This one will take probably 60 days because of the short sale and the probate, and then 60 days to rehab. So I'll get this thing probably somewhere around March to put up on the market. Close it, put up on the market back in March, and probably close it by December. So that's what happens in probate. That's that. We listed one in San Jose, 2 houses on 1 lot. Fought another guy for it. We got it. We presented an offer on a Berkeley house with an artist studio. We made an offer of $500,000. There's a 6% in there for me. We made an offer on an Oakland duplex this week for $250 with a 6% for me, 2% going out. Also in the Berkeley, 2% going out. All in 1 week. Okay, that's what happens when you stay busy with probates and you're dealing with 5 counties and 150 properties. And I have bird dogs that are doing all my calling. When they set up all the leads, my son Gary Jr. takes the leads and does whatever necessary the leads, and then I go on the appointment. If I have an agent in San Jose County, Santa Clara County, anything that comes up that way, I cut him in on the deal. We work it together. He's doing most of the work down there. I'm doing the appointment, with the executor and getting all that stuff, dealing with the attorney. That's how this works, guys. So you're spending good time and money learning this stuff, because you will be there if you stay with it. Investor or agent or both, you will be there if you stay with this stuff, because people come and go in probate because they find out it's just too difficult, and you have to do a lot of work to keep that going. Okay, Gary, how are you paying your bird dogs? My bird dogs are licensed, so one of them actually works for a lender. So we pay his broker. I pay him 25%. Okay, and that's more than most bird. The house we did last night, that bird dog is getting about $7 grand out of this deal. That's pretty good. Just think, if you're a bird dog doing this around your job, all you're doing is calling people, and we train and get you guys up to the. So when that appointment is set, I pretty much know what I'm doing when I go in there. Okay. If your bird dogs are not licensed, then you got to talk about, because you're not supposed to pay anybody that's not licensed. So you do a marketing agreement with them, and they're an independent contractor with you, like a marketing company, and this is what they do. What you pay them is based on a marketing. But I would advise you that any bird dogs that you use, have them licensed. There's many people with license that aren't doing anything with it, or they're lenders, and around their lending business, they call and take care of this. Okay. All right. So that's just a fantastic, place to be right now. And any other questions you guys have? Okay. Well, we got most of you on here tonight. We're actually just missing two people. And I hate to put you all off for just two people, actually three people. Um, but I think that's what we're going to do because, again, all of you paid for this, and you guys that are here tonight did set your time away. So let's give you a freebie session tonight. Anything you want to ask about probate or what we've done up to date, or it's something that we haven't even covered yet. If you have questions, so let's get going on them right now. I'm going to spend some time with you guys, and we're going to pick up these sessions we were going to do tonight. We'll pick those up Tuesday, and then we'll go again Thursday next week. Okay? All right. So let me hear them. What's your questions? Okay, let's hear it. Hit me up, Walt. Okay, my filing system. Well, remember when I told you guys up front that I'm a dinosaur and I like everything visual. So what I do is I keep all the probate tracking sheets that we do, because keep in mind I have a probate lead service as well. So all the leads that I get, like today was the day that all of the 5 county leads go out to all of my customers around the Bay Area. So I have hard copies on each probate along with the title, and I send it. I scan them, and then we send that whole county to all my subscribers. And then I take that scan and I put it into my county, dated, and I know now that in that file on my computer are all of the hard copies scanned for that county if I ever have to access them again. Plus, I keep the hard copies on my desk in a file until I get the next 2 week session going. So I have access to that if I need it. And then we'll box those and put them away. And we keep them here in my office for a year before I'll move those. But if somebody calls me from a year past and I don't have the hard copy in front of me, I can go actually, I'll ask them when they received my letter or try to, narrow down that date. And then I can go online to my filing for that county and boom, I'll pull up that file. Okay. So that's just the way I do it. You guys can do it any way you want, but I got a clipboard with me at all times that has all the leads that we're working on. My son has the same clipboard. So my bird dogs are making the calls every 2 weeks. They get all the leads like everybody else. I don't hold any of the leads back to my customers. They get them all just like we got. They got the same information, and we're all calling. And, the ones that are good are good appointments. The ones that aren't, going to have to work on it a little bit. We're going to get our appointments. My son, when the bird dogs set up certain things, they may want an offer from me. They may want to meet and discuss my different options, or they may just want some information mail. And my son Gary Jr. handles all that. He'll put them on a mailing system and send them the stuff they want. We have a drip system that every 10 days or so he's going to send a flyer for them to keep our names. Those that want offers, he'll set up the appointment and I'll go. If the bird dog didn't set up the appointment already, some of the bird dogs are good enough that they're getting the appointment set up. As they start brand new, they say, well, I'll have Gary call you and you guys can discuss that. Then we set the appointment. So a bird dog to me is valuable when he can set the appointment and he knows what direction that PR or executor or administrator wants to go, which is, all the cash they can get retail. They want a quick deal and be out of here or whatever. And that zeroes in on me when I'm going out. So anyway, that's how I do that. Okay, question from Wally. As an investor, my partner is concerned about paying me a finder's fee since I'm not an agent. How do we get around this? Well, if you're not an agent, licensed agent, and if your investor is not a licensed agent, then you have no problems what you pay between you. He's licensed, then you're going to have to work on a marketing agreement as a independent subcontractor, and it just happens to be your fee's going to be either a flat fee for every deal that you do or a percentage of the deal. And you should be okay with that, but always check your local laws and all that stuff. But um, I would say, Wally, you should get your license. And then you're going to be able to get up to 25% like I pay my guys. I mean, most guys won't pay that much. They're going to give about 10%, maybe 15 in some cases, but I pay 25. But I demand a lot for my bird dogs, and I got a few of the best. Okay, Walt, I know you talked about spacing the letters you send out, the time intervals, etc. I don't write fast enough. So could you go over that with the letters, when the letters go out, or what letters go out and when? Okay. So when we first talk and have a conversation with the estate, and that could be my bird dog, or that could be me following up with the estate because I was asked to give them a call, whatever. When we finish that phone call, we're going to send out our first group of letters, and in our manual you had my flyer which stated all my different programs, and it had the St. Jude donation in there, a few other things, and then it had my bio in there, and then it had the flyer how to interview a probate or trust agent. Those are going to go right away. And then every 10 days we're going to be sending another flyer. Probably the second time we send something out will probably be something about the neighborhood where the property is located, what the sales have been, what's on the market currently. Then we'll send another flyer 10 days later just on one of our programs, the Fix Up program, a little bit more detail. That's how I do it. And you have copies of the flyers I use. So just whatever you want to do. And after you run out of flyers, after 4 or 5 mailings, you just repeat everything. And with a little letter, I would advise to send a thank you card to them for taking time to talk to you. And everything has your branding on it, your name, hopefully your face, your company, and you're just separating yourself from everybody else, because most people fail at probate because they don't follow up enough. After 2 or 3 times, they're disgruntled and they go on to the next deal. Or what happens, like me, I get so busy, and you know what I just did this week, right? I get so busy that I let some good hot leads go because all my time are on the leads I'm working that week with offers and all that. That's why I put my son in place to do the second follow-ups that my bird dogs do the first. Excuse me. If it's not a immediate going on and it's taking a little bit more finesse with that PR, then my son's going to work on that and get it done, and then eventually. So yeah, I'm paying a little bit more. I might be paying my bird dog 25% and my son 25%, and I'm only getting half on that deal. But keep in mind, my deals are, on the average, a low deal is 15 grand, so I'm making 7,500, and on average they're 20 to 25,000, so I'm making 10 to 12.5 per deal. And on some of these there is no bird dog. I just connected myself and I'm keeping the whole thing. So that's how I do that. Okay. Do I have anything computerized when you go to the courthouse, if you still do this? Okay, I personally still go to a courthouse. I got one of the courthouses that I do because you can only do it manually. Go down there. To tell you the truth, I enjoy that time. It's quiet time. I'm away from the office. I got my nice little job. I drive down with my Santana music on, and I go there, spend an hour or two, and do my thing, and I go to lunch afterwards, and I just enjoy that time. But mechanically, what we are going to is, because we're getting so busy, is everything we do is handwritten on our probate tracking sheets, and then we transfer them to our probate tracking sheets online. And in the past, when I had Instant Impact software, we did everything on a laptop. And then when we got back to the office, we hit print, and it printed my probate tracking sheet and everything I wanted. We're going back to that. We're getting our print. Now, Instant Impact isn't around anymore, so you got to find some type of software that's mail merge and all this stuff. Well, we're going back to that, so I'm cutting down on the time. Okay, but that's really the only thing I could tell you on that. So when you go to the courthouse, ideally you'll have a laptop with you. You punch everything into the laptop. and then you print it when you get back, so you're never doing any handwriting. That's going to cut the time down 2/3. Okay. Okay, Wally. Right on. All the recordings are in the back, right? I'm not quite sure what you mean by all the recordings. Do you mean my webinar recordings that we're doing? If that's the question, everything is recorded, I believe, that Gary's done. Okay. Okay, and the flyers work better on the follow-ups than the letters. There's you'll hit some with the initial letters that go out. You'll hit some with the flyers, but more importantly, what happens with that, Walt, is they remember you now, and they're calling you to see what's going on, like the guy that called us after 6 months, and we put the deal together last night. So what you do is just do the same thing consistently, and some will work at one time early, others will work on the back end, some will work in the middle, but you just keep doing the same thing and following up when there's a need to follow up. If nobody answers your letter or your initial phone call that you made, and maybe you left a message, we don't leave messages. We just keep calling until we get them. We call them 3 times during the week, then we forget about them until the next batch comes in. And when we have slow times, we'll go back to the old files where we didn't get a hold of anybody. Okay? Okay, when you contact the PR question, and they say they're not selling yet, what are your next steps? Okay, so what I do is, and what I would advise you to do is, when that statement comes up like that, and they say, we're not yet's the key word, and I'll say, okay, great. So you're not selling yet. So does that mean you're going to be selling during the probate, or would that be after the probate is finalized? What are you going to do? And you'll get a conversation going on that. If they just say they're not selling, then that's different. But if they say they're not selling yet, then we just want to know, well, does that mean you're going to be selling during the probate or after final distribution? That's what that means. And they'll tell you. If they're selling during the probate, then you're going to act accordingly and stay on them a little bit more, because that could change next week. Or if they're saying we're going to sell after final distribution, which is approximately 7 months away, you still want to stay with them and start doing your mailings and follow up with them, your flyers every 10 to 15 days, a phone call once a month just to see how they're doing, because things change. The key is that they said they're going to sell, just not yet. So you want to stay on top of those people, but you don't want to be a pest. Okay. Okay. Question from Arthur. You mentioned establishing a farm with Chicago, I guess you were saying, area being so huge. They are all over the place. We have 5 very large counties surrounding Chicago. How would you tackle this? Okay. As brand new, I would take one county and master it. I would know how to access the probate files, where that is, and work that particular area with your letters and your phone callings until you're getting a rapport going with yourself, how this system works, and then start expanding out. When I first started, Arthur, I worked 4 cities within Alameda County, and Castro Valley, which is a township, I worked, Hayward City, San Lorenzo's unincorporated, and I worked the city of San Leandro. Just 4 little cities, probably a total population of under 400,000. And I did that for the first probably 10 years. And I mastered it. I was getting all my business out of that. I was doing well. And then what I did was, as I got better at this and was doing better, I started expanding, and I went to the full Alameda County. And then from Alameda County, I added Contra County. And then just recently, this last year or two, we added San Francisco, San Mateo, and Santa Clara County, because I'm now network brokering. But if you're acting on your own, by yourself, that's a lot of work to do by yourself. You could find yourself like me with 30, 35 leads that I haven't touched in 2 weeks. And some of them want offers. Okay? Is that crazy? So I now have Gary Jr. in place for that, so that's not going to happen. We don't want to go more than 3 days without touching somebody that had an interest in selling. Okay? So I hope that helps you right there. Start small and expand with success. Is Top Producer a good farming software? A lot of people like Top Producer. We're not really thrilled with it. There's some other good ones out there. I would just kind of talk around and make examples of what's available and just what you're gonna like, because everybody kind of has their different quirks about that. But we had Top Producer in the past, but we don't use it anymore. Okay. Okay, Arthur. I've lived in San Francisco, so I know your area. Big difference from here. Yes, it did. Thanks. Okay. I guess that means I helped you. Yeah. San Francisco is one county in itself of the five that we're dealing with. So I think I'm somewhere around 7 or 9 million people that we're dealing with in the 5 counties, somewhere in that area. That's a lot of area. But what that equates to me is how many probate leads a month come across our desk that have real estate, and that's about 150 a month in all the counties that have real estate. So that's not that big of a number with that many people, okay? But it's a very large number to be working consistently. And you can see what our activity was for this week, and we expect that pretty soon to be every week. That many offers out. We want to have 10 offers out at all times that we're working in different stages. My goal is one double in a week. Okay, so that's 8 sides a month. That's my goal. And add on more partner agents, broker agents, network agents. That will expand. Now, what I'm doing is I'm moving towards only having my network agents. They have to be with me at EXP. EXP Realty, as most of you know, I switched over from REMAX, and the reasons why: residual income, stock option ownership in the company, a bunch of other things that any agent can have. And right now, I just won top recruiter for the month of September, bringing in other agents that want to hook up with EXP. That's all about residual. I'm on a plan right now that will start paying me $320,000 a year in residual income from the 100 agents that we bring in from around the country. Remembering I have 4,000 agents in my database that I have taught probates to. So that's what we're excited about. But anyway, I hope that answers your question. Okay, so Arthur, yeah, you got a big territory of Chicago. That just means you got more opportunity. Okay, but start small, branch out. And what I would double check is see where the most activity is in and around your area, your counties, where the hottest markets are. Stay away from the low end problem areas. The sweet spot on this is where the entry level buyers are selling and those homes that they're moving to. Because if you can get one of those homes, then you could get an entry level buyer buying it, and then you get a listing out of it. Okay. Where do I go to train for my license? Okay, Wally, if you're in California, there is Anthony Schools. You go online, just put Google real estate license, California real estate licensing schools, and there'll be a number of them. Charlie Crackler is who I go to now when I have to renew my license every 4 years, and I have to do that now because it's due in December. So and he's like a cram guy. He'll do it in cram courses and stuff like that. And it's Crackler with a K. And if anybody wants to know that, just Google him. If you have any problem with it, his contact info and give it to you. But you go in there for one day, and you're done for your hours for your 4 years certification. And so it's not too hard to find that. Okay, so check that out, Wally. You're in Pasadena, and I can actually hook you up with my main man, Derek Ruiz, in SoCal. And if you're going to get your license, you really want to know about the EXP opportunity, because it's the cheapest place to work. It's the largest splits, even for beginners. It's 80%, 80-20. The costs are $50 a month. It's unbelievable. I was paying $25,000 a year to work at REMAX, but great branding. So when you're ready and you got that license in hand, I'll hook you up with Derek, and he'll hook you up down there in SoCal, and give you everything you need to know about EXP. You can even become one of my sponsors in Pasadena, and that comes with my mentorship and whatever still with the probates. Anybody that's with me as an EXP agent, my training is free. Okay, now you got to be a producer, got to do at least 6 deals a year to keep good standings. But if you're working probates, that's not too hard. Even an average decent agent working does more than 6 deals a year. So in probate, that's 6 figures. Okay. So any other questions? It's 6:30 right now, and we're still missing a few guys who are supposed to be here tonight. So I just don't want to step on anybody's toes. You guys that took your Friday night and were here, and those that missed it, and it could have been a good reason that they missed it, because everybody has made every session so far. Of course, you paid for it, but that shows me a lot that you guys want to learn. So, is there any other questions? Okay, I think we're okay. And what we're going to do is we're going to move session 4 and 5 to Tuesday night, 6 o'clock. There's a lot of information that night, so be ready. Go on out and catch some dinner. Go have a show. Go take the wife or girlfriend out, or both, and enjoy yourself, okay? Can you send a blank follow-up probate sheet? Okay, Arthur, I can do that. Put your email in right here, and then I don't have to look it up because Gary Jr. keeps all that. And when I get off of here, I'll send you a blank probate sheet, okay? And Wally, I appreciate it. We look forward to working with you, all of you, get you guys going. And keep in mind, you real estate agents in any state that you're in, I can help you with EXP, sponsor you in, mentor you, and get you going. This is the greatest thing I've ever seen. I wish I would have seen it 40 years ago when I started, but right now we can help you. And we just put on an agent in Texas who's going to start opening Texas for us. Everything that we do in Texas will go under him. We're looking for that in Florida. We're looking for that in New York and all the other states, Arizona, Nevada. And it's going to be great. Yeah, Walt, even in Florida. Okay, but you got to be licensed. You got to be ready to go. You don't have to be full time. You just got to be in good standing, which means you're doing 6 deals a year. But anybody that wants to do this, we'll help you. We'll help you with probates to get that going. So you're going to do 12 deals a year once you get on board and everything's ready. Okay, Walt. So Walt and Wally, send me an email at Gary D. Mr. Probate at gmail.com that you're interested in the EXP. We'll have some stuff sent to you guys that you can look over. And then the only thing that will hold you back is getting the license, because you will need that. This is the coolest thing I've ever seen. It's all cloud-based. There's no brick and mortar costs. I was just in a meeting today. I had 6 new recruits in the meeting yesterday. There's 14 different classes every week, all online in the cloud, top producer stuff. You get a free website. You get a free 888 number that you can forward all your calls to your cell phone. You get a free fax number. I just got my signs today, very cheap. It's only $50 a month to work there. If you wanted a few other tools, it's $95 a month. That's still cheap. Just the greatest thing. And the biggest thing is we're going to show you how to build a residual program, and we'll help build it with you, because me helping you build it as my sponsor still builds for me as well. So that's awesome, dude. It's just awesome. Exit is kind of similar. The difference with Exit, Walt, is, and I have a great broker friend that's with Exit, and I'm working on him to come over. Exit only goes one level. So if I brought you on, Walt, as my sponsorship, then I would earn a percentage of what you do. The difference with EXP is they pay it. The agent doesn't pay it. It comes out of the companies and based on gross amounts. So you would keep all your 80% of that commission, and once you cap out, which is only 16 grand, which is one of the lower ones, then you'd be on 100%. E&O is only $40 a deal. That's cheap. I was paying 2 grand a year with Remax. Exit only pays you one level. So if I brought you in with me, and then you brought in somebody underneath you, you would be paid, but I would not be paid on that second person. So it's only who you bring in yourself. So EXP pays us 7 levels down. So I bring in you, and you bring in your brother, and then so on, so on, and so on, down 7 levels. You're still getting paid on every deal they close on a gross amount. Keller Williams pays on the net profits of the office or the team. And you know what expenses can do to net profit. That's why Glenn, my guy in Keller Williams for years, left and started EXP because he wanted to build it as an agent business that you get the lion's share, and that's what this is. I'm already building my company stock. I have ownership already. Just a great program, hard to beat. So anybody that wants to hear it, just to compare with what you're doing, there's no pressure. Just shoot me an email, and I'll send you some info. We'll have. I don't want to bother everybody with this that may not be an agent, don't want to be an agent, or they're happy where they're at. So okay. Any other questions? All right. So you guys got another 35 minutes out of me. My pleasure. I love talking about this stuff, as you know. Tuesday we'll pick up here with setting the appointment to PR, and then the second session of appraising your probate. You're going to love this. That particular 2 sessions is good. I walk you right to the appointment, what to say, how to handle things, and then how I value a piece of property. You can compare how you do it right now. Okay, guys? So thanks for understanding. You're a great group. I'm sorry we only missed a couple really tonight, but I'm not going to repeat this session, and they paid for it. So we'll give everybody one chance, one shot. If they miss something the second time, then they're just out. But okay. All right, guys. Enjoy your weekend. Everybody be safe. We'll see you guys Tuesday night at 6.